Yes. Because frankly, you can actually only ever see one side at a time. So if we look at this, for example, if I plastered this side, it doesn't matter what's happening over here. I can never see the other side, so it's fine. Just same if I'm plastering this side, I can never see the inside of that because I can't rotate the camera to look on the other side, so it wouldn't matter. Now, if you're asking if it does this whole L, then no, I had to do like the north facing and the west facing as two separate pieces, but it is just making that tile plaster. It doesn't distinguish sides or anything. Alright, no sign of air activity yet. We're going to keep an eye on that, though. Hey, Foxmass, how's it going? I guess technically I'd say we're doing drywall. I mean, it's plaster. You know, the kind of stuff I actually really don't like doing in real life, because this crap gets everywhere, on everything, as a pain to clean. But in the game where I can just go right click and then, you know, literal hours of your days worth of plastering and all that, it's just done. Like doing this section of this wall that we just did here, real life that's like half your day. Unless you got like all like the proper equipment for doing it, and even then it's a colossal pain in the butt. I've done plenty of drywall, and I am very happy not doing it like that. See, and that's actually... So, one of the things that came up was, I was talking to... Oh, who was it? Maybe my brother. I was talking to someone about, like, playing games like, you know, House Flipper and that, where you go and, like, install sinks and all that kind of crap. And people are like, why is this fun? I'm like, well, because when you go to do the actual thing in real life, you go, I'm just going to replace this sink. This is going to be how I do my day. I'm going to be like a disgusting mess by the time it's done between like drywall and, you know, swapping out the pipes and whatever awfulness is inside of it and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm going to beat up, probably have scraped up knuckles and all that from banging my fist into the wall and that kind of stuff, you know, trying to do everything. Or, in House Flipper, you just click the sink there, it turns the camera where the two bolts are, you click and hold and the bolt screws on, and it's just super cathartic. Because you actually get to see the thing you wanted to get done in like 30 seconds. And you're not sweaty and a mess. Or like House Flipper, just like where you squeegee the windows to get them clean. Like, if anyone's actually cleaned their windows like that, it is a huge pain in the butt. They don't get clean that fast. You have to do like 30 passes and like be slow and meticulous and really scrub at it. But in games like House Flipper are like, nope, you're good. First pass, it's just done. This is going to be annoying because I'm going to have to do this lap the whole way around because I can't target the tile from the other side of the wall. But my character also can't reach because of stuff in the way. Oh, this is going to be tedious. Oh yeah, and that's very relatable because I actually just did the pressure washing for like our driveway here at our house. Like last week, I think it was. That did pressure wash the driveway and all that. It's like, I like the work being done, but you know, just getting the hoses all set up and getting everything all where it needs to be and all that crap. It's like... And of course there's always something that's not right, like one of the lines has an issue, or you know, the pressure's wrong, or you know, whatever. Like once you get it going, it's fine. You just get the thing, like once it's started up and running, you just kind of go through your process, and it just takes a while. And like that part's actually not that bad. Like your hands get sore and all that, but at least you can like watch progress happening. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the whole thing like that is the one thing that makes pressure washing satisfying. You look and go, our driveway's not that dirty, and you start pressure washing, like, oh yeah, it is. It's because I've just watched it get dirty like at the slowest possible rate over the course of weeks and months. It is, absolutely. It's time-consuming work too. And it's murder on your hands. Like, I was actually a bit concerned about playing Project Zomboid that day, because that was one of our Project Zomboid days for this run, after I've been pressure washing. And, like, after you've pressure washed for 2, 3, 4 hours, like, your hands just kind of shake, because, you know, they've been dealing with it all day. And so it's like getting your hands, like, kind of calmed down and all that's a little tricky. Yeah, everything vibrates after a while. It's the same thing like if you ever have to do like a lot of weed eating or a lot of mowing or anything that has like an engine or a motor to it that's decent. Like by the time you're done, your hands are just shot. They just need to chill for a while. Yep. Yep, I mentioned a few times way back when I was a teen, one of the jobs I worked is I was a salesman for what we called hardlines, and at the company I worked for, hardlines was like table saws, you know, screwdrivers, miter boxes, but it also had like lawn and garden, so mowers, weed whackers, chainsaws, all that kind of stuff. We also had fitness equipment, aka clothes hanging racks, as well as paint, but no, seriously, paint is the worst. For sales, paint is the worst. Because those machines break all the time and you get yelled at for it, and it's like, it's not my fault. This machine's older than my parents. You gotta maintain your stuff. Oh yeah, I've not pressure washing or anything like that, but I've had a hand seize before where it's just the muscles are like it's game on, and there's just no convincing them otherwise. All right, in the future, I want to plaster before I put all this stuff up because this is really annoying that we're gonna have to walk around for all of these. When I do get to this wall down here, I won't have to because it'll just be on the outside, but I can't target it from out here. But we have to walk around out here to actually hit it. So we're going to get to these ones, it's just going to be annoying. Gotcha. If you're dealing with numb hands on the computer, that's a strong indicator for stuff like meridian nerve compression. Or sorry, median nerve compression, not meridian. That's a strong yellow flag. I could certainly tear down a wall section and cut through. The problem is I've got to actually tear through this cabinet here. I mean, I could tear like a section of wall here or there, but Ah, yeah, that would do it. So something like multiple sclerosis or not necessarily that, but something like that where it's the you got like a tweak in your spine kind of thing. Yeah, I got a buddy who dealt with a similar problem that they had to do pins in his spine. Gotcha. That's good. Alright, there'll be another wall done. And I know I am taking like the tedious approach to it, but it's like, we're killing time. The fog's awful. Whatever. Like, that's always the scary thing is when you get into stuff like having to have some of your vertebrae fused and then put pins in them and all sorts of stuff to address it. That's kind of concerning. Yeah, and normally that's probably what I would have to do, is like every third cabinet pull it up and do it. Like I probably should do that for being objective. but I'm just being stubborn about it because, like, it's foggy weather, it's crap. We're not really focused on doing anything, one thing. We're just we're kind of chilling, getting stuff done. We'll actually put some real effort into doing stuff tomorrow when we're actually killing zombies again. And then the reason we're not killing zombies is this pea soup. It's real dangerous to drive and that stuff. It's even worse to fight zombies. Not super much. I believe what I'm going to do is for the bedroom, I'm going to paint it orange, because that's my favorite color. And on top of that, that's just kind of the color, like the theme color for the channel, so sure, why not? It's probably not actually a good color. Orange is very difficult to make work with a lot of things. It's not a bad color, it's just tricky. Gotcha. I don't think, like, I think the only paint I grabbed was, I think I have orange and I have... Ooh, what was the color? Turquoise? I saw some other paint, but paint in this game is really heavy, so I was prioritizing tools over paint. I think I'm going to change my approach to this for a minute. We're going to put up the one spot of paint here, and then we're going to do, like, the other 3 panels down here. Go in, get another thing of plaster, repeat the process. So that way I'm, like, getting more out of it. I mean, if there isn't a mod, that should be a mod. I actually have no idea what the painting is. My assumption is it'll be like Sims 1 kind of thing where I can go, this wall I'm painting orange, and it's just each tile I make orange, and I don't get to do anything fancy. It's just, that's orange. If it lets me do more than that, that'd be cool. But potentially I could do like orange as like an accent wall kind of thing. Like, you know, maybe this wall is orange, but then the other one would do like a darker color, like a midnight blue or black or dark gray, whatever. I mean, technically we are training, we're training our strength right now. Because you notice, like, if you're, it's not even, you don't even have to be up to fairly heavy load. If you're over, I think it's 60%, I'm not confident on it, 60% of your carry weight, you will build up strength from it. And then I don't believe piling more and more on you makes any kind of difference. It's just, are you over X? Cool, you're gaining strength XP. I could be wrong about that, because, you know, I don't, well, how can I reach that? Alright, game, how can I reach that? Okay. I don't know why that suddenly works, but I'm cool with it. Not walking around the entire building, like, I am on board. Well, I'll probably grab like 2 or 3 of the, I think 3 bags of the plaster for out there. Because then I won't have to do laps, I'll just go out here and do a bunch of it, walk over here, make some more plaster right out there. Alright, now's right. That's where I make some bad decisions. Okay. All you plaster. That should be way more than enough for what we need, but we're going to grab it anyways. I'm going to wait for just a second before doing this. Because we are super overburdened, so we don't want to get in a fight if we can help it. And while I'm not expecting any zombies here, you never know. The good news is it does sound like the weather will clear up for tomorrow, so tomorrow I don't need to hang back and play it safe. Yep, we are sitting on 14 katanas on the bed. Katana does in fact go burr. No, there are no crossbows or bow and arrows in this game. There is talk that there is a hunting update they might be bringing out. Well, when I say hunting... oh, I have to do the corner as well. Okay, we'll deal with that. There will be an update that should be adding like wild animals and that kind of stuff. Possibly domesticated ones. And there is talk that that would bring in a bow and arrow. We haven't... To my awareness, we haven't heard anything about crossbows, though. I am a little concerned about the addition of bows, depending on how they implement it. It has to have drawbacks, is basically where I'll leave it. Because my concern is, if you make a long-range weapon that's effectively silenced, that can be pretty powerful for dealing with zombie hordes in a way that feels very counter to the current gameplay. Like the threat that they are, because you could just stand back and pick them off. Yeah, well, slow to reload isn't the things I'm thinking. I'm thinking make the arrows very heavy, for one. So that way, you know, sure, let's say you can carry around like 12 arrows realistically, because they're not like fiberglass arrows or anything like that. You're talking your arrows are just you took a pointy rock and you put it on the end of a piece of wood. So yeah. I don't even mind it doing decent damage. It's just like, make the arrows really heavy. That would be one way of dealing with it. So it's like, if you're going to go out running around with arrows, that is, you know what is, to make it so you can use the arrows efficiently, you'd want a quiver. So you couldn't just like huck them in your backpack and work, and make the quiver take the slot of the backpack. Would be another way of addressing it. You know, make it so there's reasons you would want to or not want to take it. Right, no, I agree. Like, in real life, bows are very effective weapons. There's a reason why people like to use them. No, and I get it. Like, an actual properly made arrow is not that heavy. And I'm aware of that. It could be. I mean, frankly, the arrows should require feathers, and you don't get that many feathers. And this room back here is intended on being a bathroom. I just never finish it, because the idea is I toss a door on there and just plop a toilet. Like, I'm not thinking about like plumbing it or anything. Just like kind of like a cute little half bath thing. Yeah, no, I'm basically saying it's like I realize they're not, like in real life, they're not super heavy or anything. I guess I should say that not heavy, but rather cumbersome. Like arrows They're long, they got a pointy end. Usually they don't take much abuse from being hit from the sides or whatever, that kind of thing. Should be the last one. I'll grab the turquoise paint, even though I don't know if I am going to use it or where I'm going to use it. Right, Darkstrider, and that's the thing, is that would be one option is, okay, you can have a quiver, let's say, can carry 12 arrows. Because we won't say it's like some, like, super amazing quiver, I think it's a pretty simple quiver. And then so you can put the arrows in there, but the catch is it takes your backpack slot, because it's on your back. So that would be a potential drawback, because you could have a quiver or a backpack. So it's like you go out hunting or looting. I'm going to plaster up these walls because the corner when you're on the other side annoys me. Alright, I think we've plastered everything. So we got like one more unit of plaster in the bucket, but no more bags of plaster. So that's nice. Oh, you can pour the paint on the ground? That's concerning. There's the orange paint. I believe I already have a paintbrush on me, though. Oh, I wish painting was this easy. Could you imagine just being able to walk up to a wall and just be like, yep, 5 minutes later, whole wall's done. Even with like rollers with the proper like paints, you know, spray cans or anything, like you just know. Okay, so that used about half of the paint. Am I going to be one tile short? Is this going to be incredibly upsetting as in one tile short? I have a strong feeling I'm going to be one tile short. No, I'm going to have exactly enough paint. I can paint the counters. What? It's just latex paint. What's possibly wrong about, you know, drinking out of a paint can full of latex paint? It certainly won't absolutely have a disastrous effect on your digestive tracts. That's actually a pretty color. Right, gotta walk the entire way around outside, of course. Figures. There we are. We have terrible weather, so we're like, alright, let's make the place nice. How's it going, Mr. Lamprey? Because Mr. Lamprey can't stop me, there is a shout out. Also playing Project Zomboid, going for 1 million zombie kills over the course of 10 years. That's the challenge that Mr. Lamprey is working on. So that sounds like your jam. That is a place to check it out. My character's like, I'm sleepy. I'm exhausted. I've only plastered an entire building and painted most of the walls over the course of like a day. I weirdly can paint these walls by just reaching over the counter, but these walls right out. I have to walk all the way around them. Yeah, contractors hate them. Yep, Dr. Ennis is like, oh, it takes you a day to, like, do a wall? Oh, we don't have time for that. I will plaster the whole house and paint it all by the afternoon. We're getting real low in the paint. Yeah, that's probably the last time we're going to get out of that paint, which is what I figured is we'd run out before we finish the wall. That's fine. And this is the type of gameplay that people jokingly refer to as cursed Sims. Where you prettify your house, you put in all your furniture, you plaster stuff, you paint it, you make it all nice. But that's a pretty good start. You'll put the paintbrush up here. But yeah, I hadn't anticipated being able to paint these cabinets. That might be interesting. Get some more colors to paint that. Alright, it's way too early for us to sleep. Getting pretty low on our veggie supply. Yeah, so this looks much nicer with the orange wall versus the wood slat like we had before. So that's an improvement. We got our spiffo, we got our doll, we got our 14 katanas. How's our weapon stocks looking? So we got weapons for days when we go back out. I don't really need those nails. put those away. So that wasn't a bad use of where we had our 2 days of the terrible weather, where we're just like, all right, let's just jam and get stuff done. I don't really need a saw. Like the carpentry stuff, I honestly don't need right now. The metalworking I want. That's fine. It's a weapon, whatever. The carpentry we're in good shape. Well, this is way too early for us to go to sleep, so we're going to do this, which never will get us fish during the winter on a meaningful level, but we will gain a couple points in skill, so we'll just use it to kill time. The reason we're not going to catch hardly anything in winter is during the winter you take severe penalties on how much, like how good the fishing is. So unless you're rocking like 7, 8, 9 fishing, and then fishing at like peak times, you're not walking away with fish. Like as you see, our character's been fishing for literal hours at this point, and nothing. Not a shoelace, not a plastic bag, no actual fish, nothing. So as you can imagine, if you're trying to not starve to death and you're trying to rely on fishing, try not to rely on fishing. But again, if you get to really high skill levels, you can actually get away with quite a bit doing this. Right, leave that spear back here. Mr. Lamprey says, I've resorted to relying on non-perishable myself for the first winter, and I've got to get that level 10 for the second winter. Yep. I didn't put enough, because since I started as obese,